are doing a postponed version of Better Call Maul because internet decided to be stupid yesterday. But we do have a pretty good show for you guys today, if I do say so myself. We got some pretty good topics. We're going to start with, if you guys have seen Bad Batch, we can talk about the first two episodes that came out. So that's what we'll start with. And I'm going to give my thoughts on them. And then we're going to also talk about some more exciting news. We got some Marvel news in here. We got some Marvel news. We got some Star Wars news. And other than Bad Batch, of course. DC news. Definitely some DC news. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of everything in this news day. So expect some pretty good stuff. So yeah,
I want to say shout out to my boy Damar Hamlin. Rest up, bro. Please get better.
Who is that?
Also want to shout out Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, can we get a shout out for Jeremy Renner? Can we all just like take a moment of silence
for him right now, hoping he's getting better too.
Yeah, everyone pray for Jeremy Renner, because we don't want to lose Hawkeye right now.
Of course not. So
I definitely pray for Jeremy Renner, because we do not want...
You said, who is that? I was talking about the Mark, and I was like, who is that? Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, we gotta... The other guy, I didn't know about the other guy.
Oh, that's alright.
But yeah, so... Yeah, we got lots to discuss today. So first, starting off the bat, let's talk about the Bad Batch. Okay, so we're in 2023 now. We have our official first show of 2023 being Bad Batch Season 2. And for most of us that watched Bad Batch Season 1, there was a lot of cool things that happened, but there was also some filler episodes, and wasn't a crazy good first season, but there was some good moments. This season starts off it starts off 6 months after the first season's finale, and a lot of the characters have changed through the events of the finale, which involved what happened on Camino, which was pretty crazy. So now we're kind of just seeing the Bad Batch laying low from the Empire and going on heist missions to go and kind of just make money to survive, because they have debts to pay and they gotta go and take care of themselves. So and it's interesting enough because one of the heist missions they end up going on is they need to go to Cirillo, which is Dooku's home planet, or it was until he died, obviously. But all his stuff is there, and Dooku was kind of he was living large, man. He was robbing from the rich and stealing from the poor, because he's got so much money, man. He was stealing from his own people and stashing it in war chests. So the Bad Batch were like, we're ready to come collect. But they weren't the only one coming to collect, because the Empire, they also wanted to collect that bounty, man. They wanted the mad war chest. They had clone battalions by the thousands waiting for people up there. So you had some craziness going down, a couple of clone battalions. The Bad Batch and the clone battalions got into it, fighting for the war chest. And they were pretty good episodes, man. I mean, it was kind of crazy. Like, we're looking at these war chests. There's a lot going on, a lot of craziness. Speaking of craziness, what's up, bitch? Sorry, I had company I had to take care of. But yeah, so yeah, Bad Batch Season 2. These first two episodes really started off on a really cool thing. And one of the things that's really cool was the cliffhanger of the second episode kind of just showed it's not just the troopers that can be ruthless sometimes in the time of war. Sometimes the actual Imperial officers can be quite ruthless as well. And there was one of them that just did something freaking insane that I could not believe he did.
Should we tell them?
What did he say?
Should we tell them what he did?
What he did? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Can I tell them?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can tell them then.
Okay, so basically what happened is this Imperial officer did something unbelievable. Alright? He kissed another man. He's gay. Oh my god.
That's not what happened. That's funny. That's funny that you had to say that. No, I was like, I thought you actually watched it. I was like, oh, I was so proud, and then, no. No, yeah, he,
What did you do, though?
So, there was a clone in the episode that was a clone captain that was on the mission to go and bring the war chest back to the Empire. And they recovered, I think, 80-something% of it, but they had also thought that the Bad Batch was dead. The Empire thinks Tarkin thinks the Bad Batch is dead from what happened on Camino. But the other clone captain wanted to tell the Empire that the Bad Batch were still around. And so, I believe his name is Admiral Rampart. I think he's in a bunch of the... he was in last season, and I think he's also been in some stuff in the later Star Wars canon. And so he doesn't want Tarkin knowing that he failed. So he doesn't want the information getting out there that the Bad Batch are back. So he executes this clone captain on sight. Because the clone captain says, I'm not going to falsify my reports. I'm a good soldier. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And then Rampart's like, no, yo, fuck you. And he just shoots him. So, yeah, cold blood, man. Cold blood.
He's kind of a bitch, not gonna lie.
Yeah?
That's such a bitch move. Everybody in the Empire is a bitch, so I'm not really
surprised. So, it's pretty much, that's what you can expect from people in the Empire.
About this? It's a reflection on how shitty the Empire is, how shitty they are to not only other people, but to themselves. They're just like...
Well, that's the thing about the Empire. They say that they're all one organization, but they're only out for themselves. Everyone in the Empire has their own agenda.
Everybody in the Empire is just a selfish prick who's only looking out for themselves.
Yep.
The only reason that people are in the Empire is so they don't get killed by the Empire.
Yep. Exactly.
And they'll stab each other in the back any chance they get. Because there's literally no consequence to doing that. So
yeah, they don't care. They don't. They just will do whatever they want. But yeah, so these first 2 episodes were nothing like crazy, but they were just like, hey, let's start the year with some pretty cool, fun action and some cool stories. And these were a good first starting point, because you got to remember with like these Clone Wars, Bad Batch shows, these are all arcs, you know. So like just like with Andor, you can't really judge from the first 2 episodes because you got to wait till the story unfolds later. And I've already been told some pretty interesting information about episode 3 that makes me pretty hyped. So I'm excited to see. I heard Rex is in episode 3 and that he's going to see action. Ooh. So it's going to be pretty cool. Ooh. Yeah, apparently Lucasfilm on their website and their Twitter, they leaked out that Rex was in episode 3. Even though we've seen him in the trailer, they like leaked his whole outfit that he's wearing and that he's going to be seeing action in the next episode. And people were like, oh, well, that's one way to promote that Rex is going to be in the next episode. Okay.
Was it an accident? Like an actual accident?
I think it was an accident, but I also think they might have done it on purpose to just hype up the fact that he's in it. Because people like Rex. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Rex is awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it on purpose. Just be like, let's build hype, man. People want to see Rex. You're going to get to see Rex. There you go.
He's only my 3rd favorite clone.
Only the 3rd, really?
Yeah.
Who's higher than Rex for you?
Well, I have, oh god, hold on. I have, Crosshairs.
Oh yeah, Crosshairs. I don't consider the Bad Batch on the same tier as the normal clones because they're like mutated. So they're kind of their own thing.
I guess so. Well, if we were counting them, I have Crosshairs and then Cody.
Yeah, that's a good list. I like Crosshairs a lot. Even though he was a dick to his brothers, I kind of get what he's been trying to do.
Yeah.
This chicken just tried to... I'm gonna obliterate you for that shit. Get out of here.
Oh, chill out on the chicken, bro.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, thanks honey.
I almost
Where
fell
the
before
fuck
I
is
died.
the... Oh, I do not want to shoot. I want to use the health, damn it. I don't want to see where the... Oh, it's over here. Of course it is. Yeah, so that was... So that was really cool. Those episodes just a really good start and a cool way to kind of segue into Star Wars opening 2023. And what's even crazier is, I believe since Mando comes out in March, and I think Bad Batch has quite a few episodes left, I believe Mando will start and Bad Batch will still be running. So that's going to be pretty cool to have both shows on, at least for a little bit at the same time. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think that's going to be cool. And then yeah, so I think this was a pretty good first two episodes. I thought they were both solid, and I'm looking forward to. I'd probably give each of them about around an 8. I think they're pretty solid. So
that's a fair score.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair. I mean, I've enjoyed, even when there's been filler in Bad Batch, I've never been as hard on Bad Batch as much as like the worst Star Wars animated show to this day is still Resistance. And if you don't make anything close to Resistance, I'm usually pretty happy.
Yeah.
Because Resistance is garbage.
Resistance is nothing.
And I'm sorry if there's Resistance fans in this
canon, like. But what it is, like, here's why no one likes Resistance is
because about the sequel trilogy nonsense.
Well, yeah, like, not only that, but also like, what did it do to advance the story of Star Wars? Like nothing.
Nothing. The thing that makes Clone Wars and Bad Batch good is, and even Rebels, is because they're advancing storylines that people actually want to see happen.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing that's actually cool.
On the overall.
Exactly.
Like Star Wars itself. Like there are maybe little impacts, but they're all crucial. Like
they all serve a purpose.
We wouldn't have. Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't get to see the further development of how Empire started with what Order 66 started out like, and then also we wouldn't have the impact, especially now. No, like a lot of people expected we would start seeing Cody in like something like Obi-Wan or stuff like that, but like we still haven't seen Cody win in the beginning of Order 66 in a canon way. So the fact that Bad Batch is the first show to do that, I got to give them props for it.
We did because Cody was the one who kind of shot at Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but he didn't show up though. Like if we would have saw Cody actually, it would have been interesting to see if. I'm kind of surprised that hopefully they'll come up with a reason for this. I'm really surprised that Cody isn't like with Anakin as like a top person in the Empire because
he's also a clone. You gotta remember he's a clone. So
yeah, but he's like an important clone.
I get it, but even the higher rank clones were killed off. Like he didn't want any trace of any clone, even if they were high rank.
Yeah, Palpatine was a dick. He wanted to wipe out all the clones.
Yeah,
even though he screwed himself, because if he just would have made more clones, he would have had a far superior army than his stupid stormtroopers.
Yeah, these motherfuckers don't even know how to aim right.
Yeah, clones would straight up murder you in cold blood because that's what they were trained to do. But instead, you want a million of nonsense soldiers that get killed by freaking teddy bears with sticks and spears.
Exactly. Bro, one of them even betrayed their own. I mean, Finn was literally the reason the downfall of the First Order.
Yeah.
You're telling me that clones are the way to go? Like, no.
I'm sure Pelps doesn't want nothing to do with the. I think that's why he came up with his Final Order, because he's like, First Order, what is this shit? Like, he was probably embarrassed by that shit.
I would be.
Like, I imagine when he was
with his pants down without the clones.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, but yeah, that was there was some pretty. So yeah, that's interesting that they get to explore that angle. And I'm looking forward to seeing, like, there's a couple cool things that are supposed to happen this season. Not only Cody, but they got some other good storylines that I think are going to be pretty cool. So it's going to be awesome to see how all that happens and how the other things tie in together. And since we're talking about Star Wars, let's get on to the next topic. So speaking of Star Wars, there is another Ahsoka leak out there right now about how they're going to utilize a very crazy, the weirdest stormtroopers we've seen in Star Wars yet. So apparently some Night Sister magic has taken stormtroopers that have basically either been killed or badly injured, and their armor was basically turned to glass, and they're now got these glass cracks, and this gold magic, which is believed to be from the Night Sisters, is supposedly reanimating them. So it could be something, it's not confirmed to be zombies, but it sounds like it could be a big army of some sort of stormtrooper army that Thrawn has the ability to. And Thrawn's right hands, Balon and Shin, which are said to be former Order 66 survivors, it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm interested to see what they do with this. I'm more interested in the fact that we're going to have Darksiders than I am the Stormtrooper army. But it's interesting that Shin would have the ability, because of her ties to the Night Sisters, that she'd have the ability to summon this army. That is what makes me intrigued by it. Not that we're going to have a Stormtrooper army, because I think Stormtroopers are stupid, and I don't see the point of why the Empire still uses them, but I get they're expendable, it's easy for them to use, whatever. But, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I'm looking forward to,
hopefully they'll do more than just regular stormtroopers. Obviously, that's
yeah, I'm assuming there'll be more than regular. I'm sure there'll be some sort of buff that will make them somewhat challenging.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure they don't want anything taking away from the challenge of these Darksiders and Thrawn in terms of what can...
Well, I also assume they don't want, brain dead stormtroopers walking around just
Yeah, I'm sure they don't.
With their heads up their ass.
Yeah, that would be a problem. But yeah, so I thought this was pretty big. But yeah, we do got some other exciting news to get to, guys. Welcome to the podcast. I see we had someone come in. The other big news we have to talk about is there's a lot of Marvel news that we got to dive into. The first thing we're going to dive into right now is the fact that there was a report that came out regarding Secret Wars, that we're going to be getting to see Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman fight alongside each other. Now, this is cool because if you guys don't know, back in the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, we were supposed to get a Hugh Jackman cameo with them. So, this is kind of them getting to be able to remedy that. So, what are your thoughts on this, Playboy?
Kind of expected, right? We kind of already knew this was going to happen. I think further confirmation of this kind of gives us a little more hope, though, for other...
Yeah, I agree.
Now I'm really expecting, a Wesley Snipes and a Ben Affleck,
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to get that stuff. I think, and we're going to talk about this in a later topic, I think that's exactly... You're gonna tell that there's gonna be.
If this is already being rumored, this has to be just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Kevin Feige did say. Remember, Kevin Feige did say that he wants Endgame, but way bigger. This is how you do it. So
yeah,
I think definitely that's the game that he's playing. Is he's gonna want the more the merrier here. He's gonna try and do the best he can to make things the way that he wants things to be absolutely crazy. He wants to see Marvel fans jumping out of their seats watching his movies. That's always his goal.
Yeah,
so he definitely is let's show people how just absolute crazy I can make films be, and the bigger the better. And I think that this is exactly, like you say, the tip of the iceberg. We should be expecting even bigger team-ups than just this. But this is a pretty cool one, considering it feels like this is like the two goats of the comic book movies. So I think this is pretty cool that these two specific interacting, I think, is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's no doubt these two are the goats.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be pretty sweet. Dang it. I got company I gotta deal with. Oh, crap. Dang it. I had two of them on me.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so in other Secret Wars news, we also have So, we also got to talk about, in an interview, and you can take this one because you know a bit more about this. There was an interview where Jonathan Majors pretty much called out Chris Hemsworth Thor for Secret Wars.
Yeah, it was him, Peyton Reed, what's their name? Oh my god. Paul Rudd and Evangeline. And
they were all in that interview? Okay.
They were all sat down, yeah, and they were talking about, what are we gonna expect from Kang? Like, are we gonna see him use his strength? He said that he noticed he got buff for this movie, and I'm assuming he got buff for Creed 3 too, but especially this movie. He's like, are we gonna see some of that? And they were just kind of talking, and some.
Did he say anything about like? Did he say that there was any like that you're gonna see his strength because that he worked out for both, or was it more of like?
He said that he was. Yeah, he said he was definitely gonna show. He was. I forgot what how he worded it, but he was very subtle about it though. And I think that's smart for him to do because he doesn't want to spoil anything for the movie.
Well, that's come to expect what you expect with some of these newer Marvel actors.
But he was making it very obvious that like Kang's gonna turn up in this movie. And then obviously, like you just said, he brought up who can Kang take down? Like who is he strong enough to take down? And Thor was put up with that. It was Chris Hemsworth was up there in that conversation. And I don't doubt it. I mean, have you seen those pics? I mean,
yeah.
I would be scared to fight him.
Are you more scared to fight? Are you more scared to fight Jonathan Majors, or will you be more scared to fight Chris Hemsworth?
Oh, Jonathan Majors for sure, dude. I mean,
yeah, that's what I said. A lot of people are like, but it's Thor. Like, no,
man is built like a castle. Like
I was telling our friend, our good friend Connor Hobson today, like, have you seen the trailer for Creed 3 when he's doing the pull-ups in the?
I know, dude. Like if I saw Chris Hemsworth doing that, I'd be like, oh, okay, like he can take care of himself. I saw Jonathan Majors doing that. I'm like, oh, like no, thank you.
Literally, the moment I saw that Creed 3 trailer, I'm like, yeah, it was nice knowing you, Scott. I hope you had a nice life.
Yeah.
Cause
I think the Avengers should just send him farewell cards right now.
Yeah. Just like send him. Let's just write. Let's write.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah. Let's write our wills now, please, because we know we're all just dead. No, that's cool that he does talk
Scott,
about.
Though. I mean, Scott being in that situation, you gotta feel bad for him.
Dude, I just think and I don't know if they're gonna show it in the trailer at all, but the scene where if they do it, if they do kill Scott, or even just slightly injure Scott, right? Like, anything they do to Scott in this movie with Kang is gonna be brutal no matter what. Like, because
yeah.
Could you imagine if, like, with how strong Jonathan Majors has proven to be now, could you imagine if he just does like a 1-2 combo to, like he does in Creed, that he does to like fucking Ant-Man, just like, oh my god. Like, can you imagine Scott like, oh, I'm Ant-Man, I'm an Avenger. You're an Avenger? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Have I killed you before?
That line right there, the one you just mentioned, I mean, that line right there, like, you don't need to say anything else. You don't even need to show it. Like, that line right there, have I killed you before? Imagine how many Avengers that's not Scott that he's killed. Like,
yeah,
he probably has killed Ant-Man before, based off of what he's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck else knows who he killed before? He might have killed Thor in some.
I bet he's already killed a version of Thor because they want to show that he's just the top dog. Like, yeah. Although I am hoping, even with Chris Hemsworth having like hesitation with Love and Thunder and stuff, I am hoping that in Dynasty or Love and Thunder Dynasty or Secret Wars, that we do get to see. That we get to see him just like. A fight between Kang and Thor, as long as it's a strong Thor and well written, I would love to see that fight.
Do you think that would end
I would even love to see it if, like, it got to the point where, like, the weapons were removed and they had to go, like, mano-y-mano, like, who's stronger physically. I think that'd get nuts. Like, you take Stormbreaker out of the equation, you take whatever future tech Kang has out of the equation.
Thor into kind of, like, I think if we were talking about, like, Avengers or Dark World Thor, it would be a match, but they kind of turned Thor into a pussy. Maybe Infinity War. Like, Infinity War Thor is pretty strong too. But
yeah,
now, like,
it depends who's writing.
Thor's an absolute pussy now. So.
Yeah, it depends who's writing. Like, next time we see Thor, it depends if Thor gets another upgrade or if he's just the same Thor that we've seen in Love and Thunder.
Listen, like, I know you love your boy Shang-Chi, but I'm just letting you know, if those two got into a fight, there's no question.
No, I know that Kang would. I know that Kang would lay him out. Don't get me wrong. I love Shang-Chi, but I'm not pretending. I just know that, like, a character like him, in some capacity, because they're going to be fighting him as a team, each character will make a big move on him, and then because they've said that because of the...
Including Miss Marvel?
I mean, she'll probably make some dent. I don't know how much. It won't do much.
She'll make some dent.
It won't do...
Even She-Hulk?
She-Hulk will do something. I mean, she's strong. She's got to be strong enough at this point.
I guess so.
We'll see. It depends. There's still a lot we don't know with that, which is why it's so interesting. Like, so we have two other topics to get into next. So we can go into the next thing on the list is. So I was going to dive straight into the thing that's revealed about Secret Wars and comparing it to Endgame and how Kang Dynasty is going to be one way and Secret Wars is going to be the other way. But we also got to cover a big elephant in the room before we get to that. Since we're talking about Kang, as you guys know, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I guess, would you say this is the third trailer technically, or is this the second trailer?
It would be the second. The third,
yeah, okay.
That little sneak peek was like, or not sneak peek, but that little featurette was like nothing. Like it's,
okay, so then for the second trailer, we know we're getting on the 9th. What is on your wish list to see in this trailer? Because you're already very excited for this movie. But what can get you even more excited? Because that's the job of a trailer, is to get people more excited.
What could be getting me more excited than what I've already seen? I mean, at this point, I don't even know. Like, I'm already super excited. I don't even care. As long as we just see more, like, more footage of anything, I would be happy.
I think for me, yeah.
At the top of my wish list, it's got to be, number one's got to be MODOK. We got to see it. Like, we got to see what he looks like. People got to give their opinion. Just, like,
I agree.
Holding off on it, just show us. Like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen is we say we don't like it, and if we don't like it, then tough shit. Marvel's not going to change them. Like,
no, they're not going to change. They're not going to pull a Sonic. They're not going to redesign the entire.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's true.
So there's that. And then the second thing on my wish list would obviously be, I want to see Kang make some move. Like I want to see like what kind of threat is he when he's actually fighting somebody. Like that's.
I want to know which variant of Kang. I don't think they'll say this in a trailer, but I would like to know which variant of Kang this is going to be that we see.
I'm like 90% sure. Oh my god, that was tough. I'm 90% sure that this is Kang the Conqueror.
So you think this is the main Kang that we're facing off?
Main Kang. I think this is Kang.
So then this will be the same Kang that we see in Dynasty and Secret Wars. That's what we think. Okay, got it. That makes sense.
But that obviously, I mean, that doesn't mean that there can't be other Kangs introduced.
No, I'm sure there'll be others. It just gives me a better perspective of what to expect.
But I think this is Kang. Like, this is
because remember, he said in Loki, "He who remains" says that all his variants are dangerous. So that's the thing, is like, how dangerous are each of these Kangs, and what's the difference between these other Kangs, and what's the difference between Kang the Conqueror?
I think across all the movies in Phase 4 and 5 till we get to Kang Dynasty, I think we'll see how strong all these Kangs are. We're good because we're not gonna see just the one in Ant-Man. We're gonna see.
Do you think the one in Loki that we're probably gonna see more of? Do you think there's gonna be like some big things that happen with that? Like,
it could be. I mean, we'll have to see because we won't know for sure. you know,
Yeah.
I think the one in Loki, because they've already mentioned it multiple times. I think the one in Loki will be that 25th century or 30. I don't forget what the future one. It could
Yeah.
be that one. It could be Jonathan Majors or Jonathan. It could be uh oh my god, what's the kid called? Nate Richards or something like that. I forgot what they call him.
Nathaniel Richards.
Nathaniel Richards. It could
Yeah.
be him. It could just be It could be Kang the Conqueror. I mean, we don't know. But
That's the.
I'm
Yeah, go
pretty
ahead.
sure this Kang and Ant-Man is Kang the Conqueror. Again, I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, that's fine.
Yeah, unless the movie pulls a flip on us, I think we can assume that this is the Kang, because he clearly has all the information. He's got
And
Kang's
he looks like
timeshare.
Kang,
He's
like,
got he looks like he would be the main Kang. I agree. I think, and it's not that unthinkable that they would have the main Kang just square off with Scott first, and then make his way to these other movies, because their belief is that Kang has been in the quantum realm this entire time, right? That's the picture that a lot of people are getting, and that he's had this army here and and for whatever reason he's been trying to escape the quantum realm, but he hasn't really had his shot. And
yeah,
now he's gonna get his shot.
Next circle's in here, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I completely agree, and hold on.
Yeah, I think for me, I just want the money shot of the trailer of just seeing Kang just laying Ant-Man out. I think any way that they show it, even if it's just a snippet of it, just anything we get will be amazing.
I mean,
I think that's
all three of them out too. There could be a shot of him just standing above.
How crazy would it be? He's just going to town on all of them, like they're all there trying to use their powers, and he's just like, no, that's not gonna work.
I think what would be pretty cool, and this would probably be like terrifying for Scott to see, but as we know, stature, she grows big. I want to see her like for her first try, going big, trying to stomp on Kang, and then him just knocking her the fuck out while she's on
Oh, I want to see what I want to see is like I want to see her because she's so new, right? And because of the whole experience thing. Yeah. Imagine she tries to shrink, and he's like trying to like disarray her powers before she can even like do the shrink.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's that good. Like if this is that Kang, he could probably demolitize her before she even tries to change her entire molecules. Like
well, the sad thing is that I'm worried is that like we're all worried about Scott, but I think Scott, in an act of like being like the overprotective dad, will probably like fight Kang for her, because I mean, to her, she doesn't know what she doesn't know the first thing. Even none of them do. None of them know the first thing about Kang, right?
Yeah.
She thinks, oh, this is my first villain. I can't wait to fight him. She's gonna like try and show up, but she's gonna really try.
Yeah, she's gonna try and impress her dad.
Impress her dad.
I'm kind of worried about
That's obviously that's not gonna go well, and it's gonna get to a point where Scott's like, you need to back off. Let me do this. I can't lose you. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna.
I'd be kind of worried for honestly, Hank and Janet. I think that they could try something, and it might not go their way.
Good, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they bought it this movie, just because they're old.
They're old, yeah.
I don't know how many movies. I don't know how many more of these movies Michael Douglas wants to do, or Michelle Pfeiffer. I think they want to just move on with their careers. You know, maybe
probably want to do something different
because they are getting old. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
It'd be interesting to see what kind of threat Scott thinks he can pose to someone like Kang. I could see the fact that Scott's now been in Avengers for a while, and now that I'm imagining, because there hasn't. That's the thing that's really interesting about like Phase 4 not having a real antagonist. After Kang, none of these people have fought anyone that really like steps up to them, you know? Yeah, so like imagine going in as an Avenger and you've been like, we beat the top dog, right? Like, so you're like, there's nothing out there that's gonna beat me. I'm good, right? You know, I got you. Because like you look at the trailer, right? Ant-Man seems happy with his life. You know, he doesn't seem like There ain't no Thanos waiting around the corner for him. He's like, hey, life is good.
Yeah.
And
like I'm all Gucci, and then
yep, and then here comes Kang. Just like,
well, I mean, to be honest, and I'm not gonna like be insensitive here, but you know, if Cassie, if if Scott dies in this movie, it's kind of Cassie's fault for dragging all of them into the
well, yeah,
quantum
because she
realm.
dragged them all into the quantum realm. I know
Yeah,
that
so
that
I'm
moment
gonna
from
say
the
Cassie is probably her life is probably gonna be ruined knowing that she got her dad killed. If
yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
happens.
I have a
I'm
feeling
just
that
gonna say
yeah,
that. That's all I'm gonna
yeah, I have
say.
a feeling that that whole bringing them into the quantum realm universe, that conversation is not over, and it's
Yeah,
gonna
no.
get really heavy in the second to third
I
act of that
mean,
movie.
I think even in King Dynasty,
Yeah,
if and when she joins the Avengers, they're gonna question like why, how did you encounter this person? Why were you there? Maybe someone who knows about Kang is like, what were you doing with this guy? I mean, he's the
yeah.
worst person you could ever encounter.
Do
And
you
then
think that there is
Cassie having to
any?
step up and say, yeah, I kind of dragged them all in there, and I got my dad. Like, I obviously she wouldn't say I got my dad killed, but it would be a tough pill to swallow.
Do you think we're gonna have anyone besides like once Ant-Man and them encounter Kang? Do you think there's gonna be anyone in the Marvel world right now that has had an encounter with Kang or knows Kang?
I mean, Strange could have at one point. I mean, you know, he did look into the future, so
I've
you
been
know,
thinking about it could be strange. I've also been thinking about this whole bringing Tony Stark back for Secret Wars. Depending on which Tony it is, Tony might have known Kang because of his
it's not out of the, it's not
yeah.
out of the.
I would definitely expect it to be a character that's been around for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised, especially because he's traveled different universes and different elements and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if a version of Thor already knows of Kang, because I could see that.
I would be surprised because Thor's not multiverse. He's more cosmic, not multiversal. So
That's what I'm saying. Through Cosmic, he might have come across a version of Kang.
I guess
Because
so. Like
that's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking he knows the Kang, but he could have known a Kang.
Maybe, yeah.
And if all these variants are supposed to be dangerous, he could totally be like, well, yeah, I fought this one, and this one Kang was really bad, but he's nothing like this Kang. Like, so I think that could be interesting to see. Yeah, there's gonna be somebody that definitely has come across him.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's gonna be crazy. Like, there's so many ways to think of it. Like, with it being Ant-Man 3, I wonder what their big cliffhanger thing is gonna be, because like,
I mean, it's probably gonna lead into Loki.
you think it's gonna be Loki? Okay.
That's the closest thing you have with Kang, right? And it's
Yeah, I'd
I mean,
imagine.
It could be other things too. I mean, if you look ahead, I'm trying to think what else it could connect to. Like maybe, I don't know. I mean, King Dynasty, obviously, maybe Fantastic Four. You know, I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, there's possibilities. Yeah, anything in those timey-wimey stuff is on the table.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, it's just a phrase. No. Yeah, I think that's possible for sure.
Yeah, and we should also mention that we got news that both of these movies that are going to be connected are also a little bit different from each other.
Yeah.
Kang Dynasty is going to be more focused on an Avengers movie, but Secret Wars is going to be an ensemble film, not just the Avengers, but pretty much everyone who's ever been in a Marvel movie. So, what are your thoughts on just that? Like, just that thought?
Just the thought that that one movie's gonna focus solely on the Young Avengers, and then now this
Well, I don't know if
new.
it's going to be the Young Avengers, but it's going to be the current lineup of Avengers.
The report states that it's the Young Avengers. Well, not Young Avengers. It's the new Avengers. So it's gonna be the Avengers
Avengers,
that started in Phase 4. So that makes me think So that's already an interesting thought because we now know from if the leaks about Captain America: New World Order, I imagine the team that Sam builds in New World Order, there's going to be a scene in New World Order similar to the scene at the end of Age of Ultron, where Cap puts together his team, and then this team is going to be the one that goes up against Kang.
It's got to be the end credit scene, or at least the final scene of New World Order.
It's him with a brand new team.
I think from the start, I think even from Endgame, everyone was asking, like, okay, so who is in the current line of event? Like, who are the Avengers now? And I think that question will finally be answered by the end of that movie.
Yeah, well, because right now we don't know who the Avengers are in the world are. So yeah, I definitely think that definitely will be answered.
Who do you think will be the current lineup for the new Avengers?
Well, you got Sam leading it.
Right.
So you'll have Sam. I believe it will be Sam. I want the only thing that's a question mark to me is I would say Bucky would be on the new Avengers, but the fact that he's going to be in Thunderbolts, I don't know.
That's true, yeah.
So he could still be there because he's an important character, but I'm not sure. I'm wondering, even though Sam is great and Sam could be a great leader, I want to know if we're going to because we don't know the whole roster from that movie yet. I wonder if there's going to be an older Avenger that is there to help the new Avengers. Like, is there going to be a Doctor Strange? Is there going to be somebody that's there that's kind of just been there to guide them? You know?
I mean, you gotta have at least one vet on the team, and I think if that's anybody, it's probably going to be Ruffalo's Hulk.
You think Ruffalo will be on this new team?
But Thor's kind of off doing his own thing, so he wouldn't know about any of this.
The only thing that seems weird with Ruffalo's Hulk is that we already have She-Hulk, so why would we need...
But that show makes it clear that Ruffalo wants his Hulk.
That's true.
Involved in everything, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, I mean, I'm surprised you didn't think that's a very huge fan of Shang-Chi. The end of that first credit scene, Hulk was there. I mean, he's obviously involved in the Avengers.
Yeah,
the Avengers right now.
That's true.
Captain Marvel and Wong. So.
That's the one thing about Phase 4 that's crazy is I think the end of Shang-Chi and the stuff in Loki are probably the biggest clues we've gotten to the future of Marvel, because they've set up those big things. Like, I really do think, like,
I think
for
you could
sure.
have Doctor Strange as one of the vets, but at the same time, he's also kind of like Thor. He's off doing his own thing with Clea, so.
It depends if one of them. It depends if one of them catches, depending on the timeline. If one of them has to come back because there is a sense of urgency.
Here's what I think. I think the beginning of King Dynasty will pick up right after the end of Multiverse of Madness. I think
that could happen.
Whatever the incursions and blah blah blah, all of that, or it could pick up at the end of King Dynasty too, because I mean they obviously went to the multiverse. They went to the dark dimension to fix.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whatever they were doing, whichever movie, I think it's gonna be picked up because whatever they find down there is gonna have something to do with.
What if the incursions that they've been looking for they find? What if they're the first people to Clea and Doctor Strange find?
They're trying to fix the incursions.
Yeah, like they're trying to fix it. But what if when they're looking for those incursions, they, dang it, what if they actually find?
Where are you, Joe? Why did you?
Someone killed me down the stairs. They're being stupid. Now they're doing a stupid donkey.
Joe, why are you over there?
I don't know. I was in this building and then I got massacred.
Did you not see where I landed though? I landed over
I did not. I thought that we were in this area. But yeah, I do agree with you. I think that there could be. Yeah, I gotta say, like, I could see Ruffalo Hulk, but I could also see that depending on the situation, because Doctor Strange, it depends how their mission goes. Like, it depends what they're doing with trying to fix the incursions. Maybe they come across the trouble, or maybe Doctor Strange, when he's trying to help Clea, maybe he has some sort of vision while he's trying to help her and realizes that something's wrong, then he needs to come back. Or the other thing that we're not thinking about, especially because we know that She-Hulk's probably going to be there and that She-Hulk knows this character. Maybe the vet, not that we would consider this a veteran, but if Doctor Strange is off with Clea, is it's so hard to assume that Wong, as the current Sorcerer Supreme, wouldn't be there.
Well, I think that's already given because he's already again at the end of Shang-Chi.
Yeah, he was there at the end of Shang-Chi. Yeah,
so
that's true.
I wouldn't even call him a vet. He's just kind of there filling in for Strange. But yeah, I mean, I think we know he's there for sure.
What I think would be interesting is if you have Sam and they assemble their team, right, and they come through and they're fighting Kang. What if Shang-Chi and Wong don't show up till late in the battle because they're using their whole magic like teleportation stuff, and then they show up later and see everyone just getting massacred. Like, okay, now's the time to come in and do our thing.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that I'm really hoping that they have to establish, the one question I have after Shang-Chi, is he's got to learn, because even though he knows all these fighting styles and has all these great skills, right? They ended Shang-Chi with him trying to learn about the rings. So, like, what is he going to learn about those rings that, that he wants to do with them that his father didn't know? Because that's where the real question is, because Shang-Chi was not chosen just because he had these. The reason why Wong was so interested in him was because he had the rings.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest, not plot holes, but one of the biggest questions that not Phase 4, but whatever.
Phase 5 has to answer.
Yeah. Is that they kind of left that open. They kind of made it a big deal too. Is like, what's the story behind these rings?
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's going to connect to. As much as I hate to admit it, I think there's something. I think there's something. Well, that's interesting. See, I think the link is because if you go to the conversation in that scene, Wong asks how old the rings are, right? And the Mandarin says, or Winwu, whatever you want to call him, he says that he's had them for years.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, and Wong seemed to think...
That's why everyone kind of thinks it's got to do something with the Eternals, because they're obviously ancient, and,
Yeah, a lot of people also don't know just how, within the multiverse, right? There was a Kang that was around during, like, ancient Egypt times. So, like, there are definitely, like, ways of...
Pharaoh Ramatut.
Yeah? So there are...
Do you think he has the rings, or what? Like,
possibly. I mean, I do know this. As much as I don't like Ms. Marvel, there is clearly a link between the 10 rings, the bangle, and Kang's time chair that we see in the Quantumania trailer.
Yeah, that makes sense, because there's a lot of ring imagery.
Yeah, there's something about all three of those rings that connect to something. Either they're all the same technology and have different purposes. It's a part of a certain alien race. There's some reason that they're all connected.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going with it. I think they're going to use... They're probably going to... If I could guess, they're probably going to use the rings and the bangle as some sort of... They'll use it as their kind of... They think they're going to have an edge against Kang. And I'm going to guess that Kang is so advanced and knows so much that weapon isn't going to do as much as they're hoping it will.
I think so.
I think they'll...
I think a cool reveal would be if they say, like, how we got these weapons over you, and then Kang reveals that he's like thousands of those same things.
Well, what I think is going to happen is that Kang's going to reveal that he's just way ahead of everyone at this entire time, and that one thing that he's going to reveal is that, you guys have been preparing to fight all these threats, and in my universe, I already fought a Thanos that is way worse than your Thanos, and he was tough, but I took care of him because I'm just that guy. I think he'd have something to say about a big threat. Like, he's gonna say something that he beat somebody that they would view as a huge threat, that would make them terrifying. Like, just somebody that would make them utterly terrified.
He's also, I mean, he kind of has to be, like...
Yeah.
He has lived billions of years by himself, so he obviously has to be more advanced than everyone else, so it just makes sense. Like, why wouldn't he be
absolutely.
He's probably had so much time on his hands to like, learn and advance.
Oh yeah, he's crushed so many people, I guarantee it. Like, he's probably just demolished a ton.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to worry about, like, people like Shang-Chi or Doctor Strange, when he's fought, like, probably thousands of those same guys.
Although I would be interesting to see if Strange does eventually show up. I would be interested to see what that conversation looks like.
Yeah.
One man who gets glimpses into the future, and one man that has literally been through all of time. Like, that conversation I think would be interesting.
Yo, Joe, I need your help.
Yeah, I noticed. I heard the little ding 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 thing.
The ding ding ding.
Oh, did he get you? Yeah, I definitely think that, yeah, those are all things, like, but it would be interesting to have that conversation to see, like, what would he say? Like, what would Doctor Strange, like, would Doctor Strange be like, oh, I know who you are, I know how dangerous you are, and then would Kang be like, do you? Like,
yeah.
Oh, you got, like, double teamed over here.
Oh no, I knocked that guy back there. The guy in the back, I knocked him.
Oh shit, come on.
And then, yeah, I died.
He must have got him up because they were both being pains. But yeah, I would like to know what those conversations are like. Like, oh man, like, what is... You think you're the master of time? You think you know what the future is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he kind of trumps everyone in that.
Yeah, I think so. I think...
So if we're talking about... So, now that we kind of have that, like, established, the whole Avengers lineup, who do you think... So, we know that Secret Wars is going to focus on everyone in the Marvel Universe from across almost every Marvel movie. Who do you think in those movies can take him down? If we're not looking at people who are currently existing in the MCU who have struggled, who outside the MCU can maybe give Kang a run for his money?
That's the thing, is the question, right? I don't think it's gonna be one person. It's gotta be just the sheer will and power of everyone.
All of them?
Like this has to be a thing where I don't think there's one person, one hero, one villain, one person out there.
One person, but I'm saying, like, who are the big, like, top, like, when you're looking at the top list of superheroes.
Well, when you look at the list, you have to think that Wolverine's up there, because I don't think Kang would have anything that could... If you have Wolverine and Deadpool there, I think they both have something unique that might be able to just cause a problem for him. And then, because Deadpool could distract him, Wolverine could come at him and cause problems, and then, I mean, obviously Kang would probably just be annoyed by them because they just keep regenerating and cause him more problems.
Oh, yeah.
Then that would probably piss him off. And then you got... Well, it depends on the question, because we don't know everyone that's going to be there. But we're going to speculate for a minute, right? And Kang has so much of his technology, right? You'd have to think, even though his technology is so advanced, his technology still has to run on some kind of metal, right?
Yeah.
So if Magneto shows up, that could cause a problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah.
I could see him being a problem for him. That'd be a cool fight too. A really strong power version of Magneto versus Kang. Could you imagine? That'd be kind of crazy.
No, yeah,
yeah, Magneto could definitely handle him.
Silver Surfer from
Silver Surfer could definitely cause problems. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely people with incredible cosmic abilities could cause some problems. And the other thing we mentioned, because we know about Guardians, right? One thing we haven't considered. Do you think that they'd be willing to go and get someone like Adam Warlock to take him on?
I think we'll see. It depends. We have to see what happens by the end of that movie.
Yeah.
If they befriend him, then yes. If not, then maybe still yes. Maybe they'll say, hey, you know, I know we're enemies, but you can still like we kind of have to have a common enemy. This guy is bad news. He'll make trouble for you. You might as well just team up with us to make it easier for yourself and everyone else.
And that begs the question too. That's a whole other thing because, in terms of the Adam Warlock thing, do you think we'll see any Guardians in Secret Wars?
We'll have to see what happens with them. I mean, yeah, that question it all depends on what happens in the movie.
I did just see.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy right now, that movie is kind of the most uncertain thing we're gonna have out of Phase 5 right now because, you know, whatever happens in that movie kind of has to have a big impact on what's gonna happen to like you're completely right. I have no like. Adam Warlock could be a huge help with the Guardians if like depending on what happens in this movie. And at the same time, you know, we don't know who's gonna live, so you know maybe none of them will get out of this alive. It's really up to fate. We won't know until we see the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely. I did see something.
I hope they all stay alive, but
yeah,
I know. I mean, I know all of them aren't going to. One of them is gonna die at least.
I did see something about Dave Bautista today. Said something about that he was happy his Guardian's journey was over. So they might already be foreshadowing his death. And you know what the reason? The more I think about it. I think, and we won't know for sure for a while. I still don't think Dave Bautista has forgiven Disney for what happened with James Gunn. Like, because
I don't know why he wouldn't though. I mean, they still let him do the third movie, so I don't know why.
No, I know, but I just think that Dave Bautista doesn't seem like a person that gives up on a grudge easily, and I just have a feeling that he was holding that, and I also think that if you look at what happened with the Suicide Squad and everything when all that drama was going on, he very much wants to be a part of what James Gunn is doing next. So if not having to play Drax and do a bunch of things means that he gets a place in the new DC somewhere, then I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted so badly to get his character out of there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Out of all the members of the Guardians, I think that actor-wise, he's got the most likely chance of being gone because he clearly wants to do other things other than Marvel.
I guess, yeah.
Like,
I don't know. That's kind of a dream job, though. I don't know why you. I mean, you can do. I don't know. I also kind of get it though because they've kind of wasted Drax's character.
Here's the way I see it. Dave Bautista is an incredible talent, and I think Drax is a character that is definitely something that they could have utilized his talents that they haven't done. But there's other characters like if we're going hypotheticals on this, right? I think Dave Bautista really wants to play comic book accurate. Yeah, I'm coming to get you. Yeah, I think Dave Bautista wanted to play comic book accurate Bane so bad. Dang it, the stupid one with the hammer. Like,
so here's the thing. They kind of wasted Jax's character because he actually is a really great character in the comics, and it doesn't die in the comics. Like he has a daughter that I don't know what her name is. Her name is like Moon something. I don't know.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, but he's an important character and he does a lot. Like,
I'm sure.
He means something, but I feel like they kind of underutilized him in these last 3-4 movies, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see the point of him, like, I guess he can maybe just kind of carry on with the Guardians and just kind of, go his own way if he doesn't die, but if he does die, it makes sense, because, like, you kind of wrote yourself into a corner with that character. You can't really do anything else with them, so.
Yeah, they don't seem to have plans for what to do with him properly, because they just haven't set anything up that looks like it's specifically promising for their move or their big plans that they have. Like, there's no real, from what I can see, there's nothing that they could do.
With all the Guardians, because like by the end of this movie, I think all of their arcs are complete. So to answer your question, if they're gonna be in Secret Wars, I don't know. Maybe a version of them might be. Maybe we'll finally get like a Nova, but like if we're talking about that version of Guardians, I'm gonna say probably not.
I mean, if they bring in, we know they have plans to bring in Nova, so if they did bring in Nova for that, I could see that. Yeah. Because we know they have plans with Nova.
I think that's they should, because he's a great character.
He's a great character, and he's powerful, so he probably could do some damage in terms of what they need.
If anyone, he could give Kang a run for his money.
He probably could. No, Nova's quite powerful. He might.
I mean,
he might.
One of the strong. Yeah, I don't get how people can doubt that he's like one of the strongest characters in the Marvel universe. I mean,
have people doubted that he's strong?
People don't really give him the attention he deserves. Like people don't like think like when you think about the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe, no one really, like people say Captain Marvel or Doctor Strange or Wanda, but I mean, Nova. You gotta put Nova up there, and no one really says that, but I think they need to give him a chance to prove himself and whatever they introduce him. So probably in Secret Wars, because he deserves to be in that movie. I mean, everyone deserves to be in that movie. Just let everyone be in that movie.
Well, yeah, you'd have to imagine that they would have as many people as they could get.
They have to, yeah. I mean, how could you not? There's a ton of great, there's a ton of good opportunities to bring in people. So.
I mean, yeah, I think there's going to be some surprising people. Like, I think there's going to be some people that they won't reveal until the movie's released. That will be banger surprises. I couldn't fathom.
Was up there with those surprises. Like, I think.
You don't think they'll ever reveal that he's going to be in a movie before it happens?
Oh, absolutely not. If we're talking about Dr. Doom, they didn't. No, absolutely not.
I mean, I feel like he's a character that you have to build up though, because he's Doom. Like, I feel like.
That's the thing. Like, when you introduce him, like they keep it a secret, right? And then when they introduce him in the movie, and he finally gets revealed, that's when you start building him up.
That's true.
That's the moment when you start building him up. Because if he didn't have to be the big bad villain of Phase 5, he's not a multiverse guy, so he wouldn't be the villain for the multiverse saga. How soon
do you think we can expect the Fantastic Four casting to officially be finalized? Like, when are you expecting to start hearing final names?
I'm hoping it's this year. It's D23, man. It's gotta be. If it's not, then Comic-Con, but please. I'm like begging them all. Like, I would literally suck off Kevin Feige to get those castings.
I'm sure they're gonna be revealed in public. It just depends when. Yeah, it depends when.
What are you bringing up on? Like, what? Like, why are you taking over? What?
They don't even need to necessarily wait for a D23. They can just drop that information, because people, if the cast is like,
I'm surprised that there hasn't been as much as Marvel news gets leaked, I'm surprised there hasn't, like, there's been like quotation rumors, and then like possible confirmations, but there hasn't been like official, like a ton of people sourcing it out and saying like, yeah, this is it for sure. It's just been like, oh, I mean, this is possible. Like, I'm hearing that, but like we need like a confirmation, like this is gonna happen, and we haven't had that for any of the cast.
We'll know that. We'll know when they confirm who is officially playing what specific character.
I don't know if I asked you before, but what's your fan cast?
Ooh, for all of them?
At least, yeah.
Ooh. I don't know about Sue Storm. there's a couple people I'd like, but I don't necessarily think there's anyone I would specific fan cast. The thing that's really hard is I really think the perfect Reed Richards is John Krasinski, but I don't know if we're ever going to get that version as the main timeline Reed Richards.
Yeah, I mean...
And for Human Torch, you really just need someone that's a young, fun knucklehead that's not afraid to get with a bunch of chicks and light up a bunch of fires. Like, there really isn't that much of criteria. It really sucks. As much as I like the character, it kind of sucks that I'm kind of disappointed they made David Harbour Red Guardian. Because I think he could have been a good thing. Yeah, I think he would have been perfect. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't, because people play multiple characters all the time, but...
I think it's too obvious of a character to do.
I think it's too obvious, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you have a fan cast for them? Is there any of those members that you could see happening?
I do.
I want to hear yours. I'm curious.
Personally, I do. Okay, so... Now, like, hang on a little bit, okay?
Me almost fall.
So are you listening?
Yep, I'm listening.
Okay, so for Reed Richards, Ezra Miller, okay. For Sue Storm,
you're not being serious. Are you?
Human Torch, Jared Leto, and then for the Thing, I picked Andrew Tate.
You are trolling hard. There is no way that is legitimate casting.
That's why 100% real fan cast for the Fantastic Four.
I can't support that fan cast.
What do you mean you can't support it? What's wrong with that fan cast?
First of all, if you put Ezra Miller headlining another franchise, I'm pretty sure people will be livid.
I mean, maybe, but everyone's kind of past that now.
You think so? I still see people seeing that he's involved in... There was a bullshit rumor out there today that came out where they were saying that Ezra might get to continue after the Flash movie because they're saying it's going to do so well.
I wouldn't mind that.
But it was actually debunked by James Gunn to not be true that there was reports of that.
No.
You absolutely... What is it? Do you love Ezra Miller? Is there something about Ezra Miller that you like that people are missing?
He's a Chad. Like, he's a complete Chad. Everyone likes Ezra. That's what they all say, right? We all like Ezra Miller.
But nobody says that. You're the first person to ever have support of Ezra Miller. Out of everybody that you named on that list, there's only one person I think I would full-heartedly support that I actually am starting to like.
Is it Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Yes. Andrew
He'd be the only one. He'd be the only one on that cast list I would support. But if you're gonna make Andrew Tate anyone, he better be.
What about Jared Leto as Johnny Storm?
I've had enough. Nah, man, I want Andrew Tate as Johnny Storm. Are you kidding me? Screw that.
He can.
He can do it. You can make a change to him. He doesn't need to have hair.
Okay, but what's wrong with Jared Leto though? Like, what did Jared Leto ever do to you?
He didn't do anything to me, but I just don't want to relive Morbius.
It's different though. It's not Morbius. It's a different character.
No, but you know what? I can already see in my head. I can already see he's gonna make it morph and flame on.
It's more than time.
And I don't want to relive that. I'm sorry.
What about Daisy Ridley as Sue Storm? That's a good cast, right?
That one I can get behind because I don't hate Daisy Ridley. I don't hate Daisy Ridley. I hate the character that she played in Star Wars. So I'm in support of her playing other characters as long as she is given... Because I think she's a good actress. I just think she gets shit characters.
I would say that's partially true. I've never... This is no offense to her. I've never seen anything...
Oh, I've never seen anything that she's amazing in. I just would hope that she's...
I've never seen oh, I know that movie with Daisy Ridley. She's so good in that. Like, I've never said that in my entire life.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
No, but I would just hope that she could eventually get something that she could actually put her name on that actually is good. Because it's never going to be Star Wars, so hopefully there's something out there that she can actually put her name on that actually she... What? Yeah, about Jeremy Renner? Yeah. It sucks. Snowmobile accident. It's rough. A lot of people have been sending prayers and everything.
Shout out to my boy Jimmy Ryan. I hope he gets better.
Yeah, no, is that another stormtrooper up there that's not you? Damn.
That was not me yet. No, that's not a stormtrooper.
Oh, it looked like a stormtrooper. Oh, it's not a stormtrooper. It's some... Oh, it's a fucking, like, look-alike Storm Shadow.
He's a poser. He's trying to be me.
No, yeah, it's stupid. No, yeah, it's like... Yeah, I think, there's something about her... I think there's roles she could do really good in, but I also would love to see her have something that she could actually prove her worth. Like, I think out of those actors from those Star Wars movies, the only two people that have proven that they are true good actors and deserve to be in other projects are Adam Driver and Oscar Isaac.
I mean, Oscar Isaac has gotten his chance. Who do you think Adam Driver, though, maybe? I mean, and don't say Reed Richards.
Don't say Reed Richards? So is this for Fantastic Four or is this for anything?
No. It's just anything. Like Reed, like if you wanted to see him in
Adam Driver. What would I want to see? I don't know. After seeing him as Kylo Ren, I'd like to see him play another villain. I can't get. For me, I just don't see Adam Driver as like putting on the colorful costume and being a hero. You know, it just doesn't.
He should definitely play. He should definitely play. He should be. I think he should be the new Black Panther.
What? He's white.
So?
Yeah, it's fair. I mean,
just because he's white doesn't mean he can't be Black Panther.
No, I just don't. I don't.
Isn't that a little bit racist?
I'm just saying I don't think that the community of the Black Panther fandom would like the idea of that. But
well, let me tell you something that they would like. I think Austin Butler should be the new Superman in DC's, James Gunn's new DC.
I like that idea. I think that's a good pick for Superman.
He's young.
Yeah, it's supported.
He's a little bit older, but he's also not young. Or he's also young, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, they never specified just how young they wanted, so I think.
Perfect age, you know.
Has he expressed interest in wanting to play Superman?
Not yet, but I don't think they've offered him yet. I mean, people have just looked at him and said like this guy. I mean, this guy definitely looks like he could play Superman, and I totally agree. And I don't think they've reached out to him yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up reaching out to him because
they could reach out to him. That's possible.
I think he's perfect to play. I mean,
you know what? That actually gives me an interesting idea. You know who would be a good character for Adam Driver? Now that I think of it,
Adam Warlock, John Wick.
I mean, we already got John Wick. I think Adam Driver. I mean, he's in pretty good shape. He wouldn't be a horrible Nightwing. He probably could pull that off.
Oh, don't say that.
You don't think he could do it?
No, not Nightwing. He's too old for Nightwing.
That's fair. I mean, I guess age-wise, maybe
like
not.
A young stud, you know.
That's fair. I mean, I figured there could be changes, and because eventually he gets older, and like depending on what the story is, but there's other things I'm sure he could be like.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I don't personally. If you're gonna be Nightwing, you gotta get
Oh, I think they need to get someone that's gonna be absolutely jacked and super acrobatic.
Get someone young, get someone who looks,
I still think he's not. The sad thing is he's probably not young enough anymore. I always thought the perfect actor for Nightwing was Dylan O'Brien, but he's too old now, I think.
I think he's still an okay age.
You still think he's an okay age?
No.
Yeah, probably not. I thought it'd be cool, but at this point he's too old. Probably.
You know?
No.
Wait, what? No?
I said no.
Why did you say no so quickly? You said no so quickly.
Because I just can't see him as Nightwing.
Okay.
I could.
How about Tom Holland as Aquaman?
Why are you trying to get Tom Holland in the DC universe?
Wait, you don't want Tom Holland in the James Gunn DC universe?
I mean, I didn't say that. I just don't know if those big characters are. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't mind.
You can be the new Batman.
Are you trying to make me kill you? Like.
Tom Holland is Batman.
God, people would get so mad about that.
Right, Joe?
I would prefer he stayed Spider-Man, but thank you very much. Stay in your lane.
He can be both. He can be Batman and Spider-Man.
I have a feeling people wouldn't be as tolerant with Marvel with him spilling secrets to everyone all the time. Like, I don't think James Gunn would like his strategy.
James Gunn has no problem with spilling secrets because he just likes to blabber all over his Twitter page, saying, "Okay, guys, so this is what's going on."
Although he debunks things, but then he also doesn't confirm things or say things. So we won't really know anything until
at least Tom Holland, when he spells stuff, at least he's reliable. When you have a guy like James Gunn, he's just not reliable at all.
Well, he's trying to save the surprises, I think, because it sounds like we're getting really close to getting that first couple of movies revealed. I heard him say something about that today.
Like official news about it, like this year at Comic-Con, or what?
It's not confirmed. I don't know where it's gonna be posted. I don't know if he's just gonna drop it on Twitter, or if there's a special event he's going to.
I said at Comic-Con.
Maybe.
New York Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con.
Possibly, because I think DC will probably go there.
They could do the DC fandom. Like, what do you think?
It's possible. It's possible they do that. I do know that very soon. It could be this year. I know they said that they have a 8 to 10 year plan, and that he's going to only unveil 3 of the movies this month.
Ooh. Which of the 3 movies do you think? Like, if we had to do a Yoda Joe 93 official prediction.
Well, here's what I wonder, because the thing that I'm questioning is his Superman movie one of those 3, or is, because that's already revealed, is it 3 different ones? That's what I want to know.
It's got to be the Superman movie, right?
Superman movie's got to be one of them, because that's my question, is because that movie's so known now. Is it like, is it going to be, is that one that he's revealing, or is it like, and is it 3 other movies, or is it Superman and then 2 other movies?
It's got to be Superman and 2 other movies. I would think so. It could be 2 other shows too. Like, we don't know his official plan, so.
I know this much. One of those 2 movies isn't going to be a Batman-related movie. That much I know.
Yeah, I can't. They can't jump into Batman.
They're going to wait. They're going to wait for Batman for probably a year or 2 years before they make their plan with him, I think.
Right, yeah.
I'm trying to revive you, and you're running away from me.
What do you think the other 2 movies are going to be in that?
Well, the one thing that people have been talking about is James Gunn has been supporting Blue Beetle, so Blue Beetle might be a part of his... What did you say?
We already know that's happening, though.
Yeah, but I'm hearing that it might be a part of his main universe, so I don't know if, like... I wonder if those... What could be those 2 other movies? I'm trying to think what else he would announce. It could be...
Like a Suicide Squad related sequel, like a Bloodsport thing, or Harley Quinn.
It could be. Maybe one of the Suicide Squad members, maybe since Peacemaker is so popular, maybe another Suicide Squad member is getting a new movie, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Bloodsport or let's think, who's another member that they would... Yeah, probably Bloodsport something. I'd say something Bloodsport.
Yeah.
I feel like James Gunn is gonna have something that is that he's made famous is gonna be announced, and I think people are gonna be mad at him for it, like the Snyder Cut people. So like, oh, you're just keeping all your stuff. Like, why are you? But you won't care about the other stuff that people liked. Like, I could see it being something of his.
Well, we all know you're the biggest fan of the show. So.
No, I'm not. That's Xavier. Or as we say, Patty Jenkins.
Oh yeah, that's right, Patty Jenkins.
Or you know, I could say, here's something I could see, and this just crossed my mind because it was a very popular character from the show. What if it's a vigilante project?
I wouldn't mind that. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a limited amount of stuff you could do with that because he's vigilante, but I wouldn't oppose that. It would.
But that's like DC doing a Deadpool movie. If you look at the Peacemaker show, it's just
the thing is though
he gets his own show.
Vigilante, it's like I know everyone compared Vigilante and Deadpool. Like yeah, they have the same kind of personality, but you have limitations with Vigilante, so you couldn't really do what Deadpool does. So I don't think it'd be worth a movie. It could be worth something like maybe a show, but. A movie? Yeah. Probably not.
And I'm just trying to think what they would announce from characters that we know James Gunn would want to do.
I think honestly the biggest thing. I mean, Harley Quinn, right? That's his biggest.
Yeah. I mean, he has been vocal that he likes her a lot, so I could see it being a Margot Robbie Harley Quinn thing. You know, maybe it's another adventure with Harley and someone else, like another character thing.
Maybe they could do Harley and.
Maybe it's Harley and Gotham City Sirens coming back again, and they're actually working on that project again.
They're finally doing the project. You know, I think.
Yeah.
I think if anybody else would, James Gunn is definitely that guy who looks back at like previous projects they were gonna do and picks them up and say, okay, let's do these now. But it's under my direction, so they're gonna be good.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see something like that happening.
I think James Gunn, like at the forefront of a Gotham City Sirens movie, would totally work. I mean, it would definitely be better than Disney making an A-Force movie. I wouldn't even want to watch an A-Force movie if Disney made that.
Yeah, James Gunn directed Gotham City Sirens could be pretty good. I think that could be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think I think these projects. Here's the thing I'll say: like, we can try and predict what they are, but I guarantee you the projects that we predict they're gonna be aren't gonna be what we predict they will. It's gonna be. Oh. If I had to guess something, because James Gunn normally goes for the fences and is wild. Here's something I'll say that's. I don't think it will be, but something that could be because James Gunn goes for those wild, out of the crazy characters. I could see. I was about to say that. I could see one of the movies being Booster Gold something. Because Booster Gold is definitely a character that I...
would be down for a Booster Gold movie. And you know what? Since they're doing characters like Blue Beetle, I would not be opposed to them doing a Booster Gold movie like that.
Yeah.
That works for me. Because, like, it's... we already kind of talked about this, but... I told you how I didn't think a Green Arrow movie would work. Because... For one... Like let's look at Hawkeye, right? It's a perfect example of it's a character that people are a little bit familiar with, but they wouldn't know if they want to go see a whole movie based around a guy with an arrow, like running around, you know, killing people, whatever. Like that just doesn't catch real interest. If you introduce Booster Gold, right, kind of like how Marvel did with Shang-Chi, where you give him his you kind of introduce this new character that all people are familiar with, and like by the you gotta make a good trailer, right? But the movie has to be even better because this movie, like, people gotta fall in love with this character, and I think you can totally do that, especially that they're doing it with Blue Beetle. I think that can definitely work for Booster Gold too, because Booster Gold's a funny character, and I mean I think like Booster Gold could be like their Ant-Man. Like he could be like that funny, charismatic character who just kind of, you know, he's kind of an idiot, but he's also lovable. You know,
I mean that's possible. I already think that they're going to, if they were going to do any character that I'd say would be like their Ant-Man, I'm going to guess that character that's going to be like their Ant-Man is probably going to be Blue Beetle, because I think that's what they'd shoot for.
I think, in my opinion, Blue Beetle's going to be their Spider-Man. Like,
that's
he's
true.
A young kid. He's got all of his real life issues. You know, he's still a teen, but he's got superpowers. You know,
it's interesting to me that James Gunn has been promoting that movie. It makes me wonder if he really did have some big plans with that character.
I don't know. He might. I don't think he was originally involved, but now that he's taken over, and that movie is still pretty kind of in development. I mean, it's in post production, all right. Like we know that. Like it's but it's definitely he's definitely stepped in and said, okay, there's a lot of things I can still bring into this movie, and I think he will for sure. And it'll be for the better because I mean, I trust him and I like Blue Beetle, so I think.
What do?
I'm gonna go in the room and fold the clothes and everything.
Okay, come back out when you're done.
Okay. Well,
We watch more show. Oh,
okay,
June.
girl.
Yeah. No, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's possible.
Not doing your podcast.
What do you say?
They can hear you.
I was just talking to her real quick because she was gonna go do some things real quick.
I think people are used to it.
No, it's fine. They're used to it. But yeah, it was stupid storm. But yeah, it's fine. But so yeah, I think those are definitely possible. I think it's interesting that he's been vocal about that. Here's another piece of DC news we got to talk about. Did you get a chance to look at those concept arts for Flash?
It was just one picture, right?
Oh, I found multiple. Did you go on Twitter? There's multiple things now.
I think you're wrong. I think it's just the one.
No,
it was with three of them.
Oh, did you not see the one of with their origin story of like the Ezra Miller Flash and the other Flash variant like spitting their lightning from their chests to each other? Like that's kind of messed up.
That one was just a fan made picture.
No, there was an official concept art one of it.
Send it to me. I'll prove it to me.
I can show you all of them, dude. They're all legit.
Yeah, I'll see it because I know which ones are fan made and which ones are legit. I know the one that's legit is that one with all four of them in the picture. You have Supergirl floating above them, and then you have Ezra Miller in the front with his variant on the left, and then you have Michael Keaton, the Batman, in the middle, or sorry, not middle, the right. That one I saw, and honestly, other than the Barry on the left, I like all their suits. Like I don't mind Flash's suit. I really like Keaton's suit, and then I don't, and then the Supergirl suit, it's all right, but yeah. What do you think, though?
I like it. There's been some interesting reports that I'm not sure about that came out recently. Like I heard that DC's so happy with the movie that they're comparing it to the hype for The Dark Knight, which I don't know if I agree with.
I don't know if you can compare it to The Dark Knight, but
yeah,
maybe
they also
for I don't know, Iron Man.
They also said, did you hear that they were trying to hype it up like Spider-Man: Homecoming because of all the different characters? Oh, not Homecoming. No Way Home. Sorry, No Way Home is what they tried to do.
No Way Home?
Yeah.
Isn't that movie out already?
Yeah, but they tried to compare the Flash to No Way Home, like that the surprises would be as epic scale and.
I can see that. I can kind of see that. Yeah, depending on where they go with the movie, I definitely see that.
Even with all the cameos they cut, you think that that's still an option?
They cut, but we also don't know who else is in there. Like, there could be a lot of other ones there.
That's true. What would you think if, because we know there's already the two Batmans, right?
And,
what would you think, because they have gone to the level of comparing it? What if they got Christian Bale to come back?
Ooh.
How would you feel about that?
That'd be interesting. I don't know if he would want to come back. Even if they asked him to and they said, can you come back? I don't think he'd want to come back. Personally, I don't think he'd want to come back. Just because he's kind of moved beyond that. Even if it's for a cameo. Christian Bale is a respectable guy, but he's also not the type of guy you're gonna go out and ask him to come back for a cameo. So it would be cool to see him. I would love that, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Dang! WB already deleted most of the concept art ones. They didn't want. They didn't want people see.
So everybody, Joe was just caught lying.
No, I had proof that it existed, but it's they.
Joe,
I
why
just
didn't you
went
take a
to
screenshot?
I just went to the page and I might have one somewhere. Let me see. That they went to the page and they literally like they canceled it. I got two ones that I think are that look like really cool fan made, but I don't know if they're legit. Yeah, this one's not legit because this one is way better than the stupid Flash variant they have. Yeah, that one's not legit, but it is a cool concept art. And then, why can I not find the other one? I'm so confused why I haven't been able to find that one. Where is it? Because I just had it, and then, like, I wonder if it's still... They may have blocked it off by website, but I wonder if they still have it on Twitter. Because I saw it on Twitter. Because I saw it, and someone tagged me in it, and they wanted to know what I thought about it. And then now they've been trying to remove it. Gotta find it. It's gonna drive me crazy until I find it. Because I saw it and I thought it was the stupidest thing that I could see because because it doesn't have any concept of it, you know, like
What did you think of the concept art when you feel like what was your thoughts on it?
some of it looks cool, but
I think it looks nice.
yeah, some of it looks. I'll go on record and say this, despite my problems of reports with Ezra Miller, I'm actually still one of the few people on the earth that would, if someone asked me about my anticipated movies for the year, I would still say I'd put The Flash on my anticipated movies.
I think
Because
so, yeah.
because we've been
think,
waiting
yeah.
for so long
Yeah,
to yeah, so I definitely think that this movie, the fact that there's so many reports of it being positive, it has to deliver because they've put so much effort into it. If it doesn't deliver,
and they took a lot out of it too. So if it doesn't, like, you know,
yeah, I agree.
if it doesn't go well, that's their fault. And
Yeah, if they really created a shitty movie just like that, then well, that's it, I guess.
yeah, they screw themselves if they don't. I mean, I mean, people like the Flash, right? It's got to make. I mean, despite the Ezra stuff, it's got to make money, right? I mean, you would think it does. It's the Flash. I think their biggest concern is making money over quality, you know, a quality movie. Which, you know, I don't know if it is or not. But
Yeah,
we'll
that's a good
see.
point. We're gonna have to wait and see just what they got for that one.
I'm looking forward to it a little bit though.
I'm looking forward to just if they do what I think they're gonna do.
Michael Keaton. I'm excited to see Michael Keaton.
I'm excited to see Michael Keaton. I'm glad that they didn't. I was really nervous that they were gonna cut more of his stuff because of all the stuff that happened with Batwoman or not Batwoman, Batgirl.
Yeah.
So that made me a little nervous, but I'm glad they kept his stuff. I am really hoping. I don't know what the amount of screen time are because that they have both of them on screen, but it would be really nice to see Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton have that kind of No Way Home, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire moment. You know what I mean? Like,
That's why you got to put Bale in there too. I mean,
yeah, that's why I love it. I mean, I would love it if they had the three. I know they've said like in their DC universe they don't want 3 Batman, which I get from a overall universe standpoint. But for a movie like this to have cool cameos and to have a moment like that, I think this is the perfect movie to have those 3 different versions of Batman.
what do you think they would be like with him and each other? Like, do you think all their personalities?
I think Bale's gonna make fun. I think Bale's gonna be made fun of for his Batman voice. Like, I think they'd find a way.
He's probably also gonna be made fun of because of his costume. I mean, his costume looks a little like it's very skinny. It's also very like.
And you know what I think would happen? I think Affleck and Bale would get into a fight. And I think Bale would get absolutely destroyed.
Well, I think so too. But I would like love if Bale like looked at like Affleck and said, "Why are you so chunky?"
Yep. And then he'd be like, bro, I've been hitting the gym more than you have. Like, what are you doing? Like,
he's like, yeah, well, at least I can fit into my bat suit.
Yeah, he probably would
I mean,
crack. They probably would be making fun of each other's suits. I
Keaton would just
wonder.
be standing. Keaton's just standing like, "You guys want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts."
I'm curious how Keaton is because Keaton's so old. What are they going to be? The fact that you're putting him back in the bat suit. What can 80-something-year-old Batman do in the bat suit in a movie like The
Well,
Flash? Right.
let's be honest, Joe. They only need Keaton there to act for a few scenes. Everything
Right.
else in that suit
Will
will be a
probably be a
stunt
stunt
double.
double. Yeah. But just
Yeah.
seeing someone in Keaton's suit like throwing batarangs and kicking ass would be.
I mean, but it's also, you gotta remember, this is Bruce Wayne, a guy who's been trained by the League of Assassins, and he's probably in the best physical shape a man can be at that
Yeah.
age. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't think he's got to worry about it, honestly. I mean, he's Batman, you know?
I'm just excited about the idea of that, like just the fact that he could be still doing crazy things at that
Yeah,
age.
like,
I
he's
think,
still kicking ass. He's old, but at least he's kicking ass, but, you know, he still looks great doing it because
yeah. And if you
that's
go
like,
back and look at, and if you go back and look at Keaton's old fight scenes as Batman, he had some pretty cool, memorable moments.
yeah, he did.
One of my favorites is I'm a huge Batman Returns fan. Like, did you watch? Are you a fan of Batman Returns? Like, did you watch the old movies or
Yeah, I watched them all.
like I really liked his I really liked some of the moves he did to like a lot of Penguin's thugs and like he had some cool moments. So I'm definitely excited to see him back. Like when they
Yeah,
broke,
they definitely can up that too, like for sure.
yep,
Like
they have the tech to
they
make,
can
they
build
have the
on what
stuff to
they've
make it
already.
better. The only
Yeah,
thing I'm a
and I
little
think it'd be
nervous
cool.
about in this, the only thing I'm nervous about in this movie is having the two to that other version of Ezra looks really weird.
Yeah, he looks weird. Like his neck is like too fat.
And I hope they're not doing the whole. I hope they're not using him to replace that set because they couldn't get Grant to come in. Because I think after what they did with Crisis, they need to have Grant come in even for a quick scene. Like if they don't have
Yeah,
Grant, it's gonna be stupid. Like they gotta have Grant because it's they literally paid the money to get Ezra to come on to the Flash show. So you have to have Grant come on to your movie. It just is the way things work, you know? It's a deal for a deal. Like and I think if you're doing a Flash movie of this scale and you have the opportunity to cross the multiverse, why would you not bring Grant
well,
Gustin in?
I'm still wondering, like, what's the point of bringing in that other version of Barry? Like, who is it? Is
Yeah,
it
I
supposed
don't
to be reverse?
understand.
Is it
I don't know
supposed
if
to
it's
be
meant to
Reverse
be like
Flash or?
another version, like it was never confirmed. Like we don't know if this is just another version of him, like how this is.
I heard that it was supposed to be Reverse Flash.
Is that what so you say it was supposed to be?
I think
Like,
no, well, I think it's a theory that I heard, but I heard someone say that it could be Reverse Flash. I don't know if it was a rumor or if it was a theory, but
I like the theory that it could be, I like the theory that it could be a version of Red Death or something. That was the one theory I heard that people were like, oh, it's going to be another speedster, but I don't know. We'll see what they do. I'm kind of confused about it. They haven't really been. That's why thank
yeah,
God the
they can
Super Bowl
release.
is that's why thank God the Super Bowl trailer is around the corner because we need that trailer because there's so
Yeah,
much that we don't know. And I think this trailer will really a proper trailer will really clear up some things that I have questions about.
yeah, definitely. I
So,
think those trailers are gonna help.
I think that trailer even with the haters, I think just having Keaton in this movie is going to that movie could drop bars on people that a lot of people
It's
don't
gonna be
expect.
big. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely gonna be big. I think it has the ability to make waves despite all the controversy it's had to go through and all the delays and everything. Even through adversity, I think it'll hopefully it'll make waves. It'll you know
Yeah, it will hopefully be noticeable.
yeah, it'll give us out for something because this movie's been a really. I would say that this movie kind of killed DC. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I mean,
It caused so many problems within the fandom. Like
yeah.
that's the thing.
I
It's
mean, you could even say
divided.
this. You could even point out that this movie was the reason that Batgirl got canceled. So, um, you know, it's
Which
been a
sucks because
problem.
it seems like they had this whole big journey planned for Michael Keaton, and then it just like kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it's
And
just not.
we don't really even know where. Like we don't even know where it fell apart. Like at what stage they'd kind of decided, oh, this
Well,
isn't
it's
gonna
crazy
work.
because it must have been a post production where it fell apart because they filmed they literally filmed everything, and they were just going to they went to edit the movie, and then I don't know, it was like a month into the movie, they post production, they said, okay, hey, we're calling off the entire movie, it's being canceled, you can't release this, throw out everything, just delete it all.
Which is so weird to me because whatever people, I would prefer they let people judge whether the movie's good or not, than because they spent money on that and they were so
Exactly. Well,
close to like,
exactly. You spent so much money on that movie, and you made, like, I'm not gonna say waste time, but people spent a lot of their lives on that movie, like a couple years of their lives on that movie, and for what? Like for nothing. And that's such a that's it's a colossal waste of time if you weren't gonna at least release people to watch.
and I don't
Like
trust Warner
it could have been
Brothers
more
like.
levels of bad. I still would have watched it
Yeah, and
because
I
I
don't
would have
trust
given
Warner
them.
Brothers with their stuff. I don't trust their judgment on things. So I would rather be the one to say, "Oh yeah, this was crap. I'm glad that you guys chose not to move forward with this." Like if it was a matter of it being a sequel or whatever it is, but I've seen like other projects and set photos by it that says that they it showed that they had a lot more faith in it than, or they should have had a lot more faith in it than what they did, because I mean, they had Brendan Fraser as Firefly in there. Like, it couldn't have been
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I just
that's a
don't.
great that's a
I
great
refuse to
like
believe that that
thing.
movie was bad. I just feel like it's. I feel like they didn't know how to say that it was just not in their plan for what they were working on, and they didn't know where it fits. They're like, oh, well, we don't know what to do. So, but I feel like they
And
could have
that's
come up with a better plan than like. Why wouldn't they just say it's an else?
exactly
Why couldn't they just say it was an Elseworld story and just make it as an Elseworld
exactly
story?
exactly.
Like that would have been so much
It's so
easier.
stupid. Yeah, that would have been a perfect, like, you didn't even have to, like, you don't even have to explain that too much. You can just say, like, yeah, that's what it is, and then it's over.
I mean,
Like, you
that's why
don't
we
need.
have Batman, and that's why we have the Batman and Joker, and look how that turned out. I mean, Elseworld concept works, so why not do it?
because
And I guess,
because they because Warner literally hates all their employees. That's why.
yeah, they do. That's true. That's the only thing I have. Only problem I have with Warner Brothers and trusting them is that they don't know how to treat any of their people. That's why I'm glad that you have someone at the head of DC now that actually will respect
Well, I was gonna
certain
say, do you think
people.
James Gunn had anything to do with that? Do you think, like,
I think that the Batgirl stuff was done before he got there. I just have a feeling that it was just removed and he didn't have a say in it.
do you think if they didn't delete, if Warner didn't make them delete, think that James Gunn would have said, like, hey, you guys are good to release this. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think he would have been just supportive of it because it seems like something that had such good vision and there's such good backing for it. I'd assume he would have at least wanted people to see it. Because I don't think that there's nothing to me about it that I think he would really be against.
Well, do we know for sure that they deleted the entire movie, like the entire movie, so like every trace of it is gone, or do you think
There
do we
was
think
some report where the creators went, the directors went to look for it because they were going to put it out on their own studio and do it, and then every trace of it was erased.
that's just terrible?
Oh, so they say. Like maybe there's some backdrive or something. Like
That is sickening to hear. That's just, like, knowing you can't get any of that back is just sickening to hear.
it still bothers me because there was a picture that what's her name? The chick that was playing Batgirl. I can't remember what the actress's name is, but I think it was Leslie Grace. That's what it is. Leslie Grace put out. She put out a picture which was her final suit of Batgirl for the movie last week,
Yeah, I saw.
and it looked fire. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And
Yes, I was.
we saw like we saw set footage of, like, there was pictures of Keaton's Batman and Robin
Yep,
like, ran together, and it's so sad. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, it's really sad.
I kind of hope and pray that there is there's some trace of that movie out there. I hope I hope that rumor isn't true, because I think under new direction, James Gunn would be keen to.
Well, yeah, maybe someone. I mean, maybe there's someone that was able to salvage something, because I mean, nobody thought that the Snyder Cut was going to happen, and that happened. So maybe there's a chance that one day that somebody will be able to make that actually happen. And maybe it's about time. Maybe someone was able to scrub the footage of it, and they've just been waiting for the right time to release it.
Yeah, I hope they scrub it, you know?
Yeah. Maybe just
well,
like...
Do you wish they were scrubs?
Like, what do you mean by scrubs? Like that people could just scoop it up and take what's left of it and make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if like they were able to get a hold of enough of it where it's salvageable and you could make what should be a movie. I think that'd be great.
Do some minor reshoots and then that's that, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Like that would be awesome if they could do that.
I think it'd be sweet if they could. You got people over there already? Okay.
I killed them. They're good.
Yeah, so we did have one other.
Anybody.
Oh, what did you say about anybody?
It's definitely not fair to anybody who that project.
Yeah, anybody that worked on that. Yeah, it's not fair that had to happen. So we do have one more big topic, guys, that I've been looking forward to sharing with you guys. So it sounds like The Flash is pulling out all the stops for its final season, because they just announced their episode 9 of their final season, which starts shooting this week. So if you guys follow any of, like, I follow a lot of the big Twitter pages that get like the exclusive set photos, and I won't be surprised if we get some really big clues and hints about what's in episode 9 based on set photos. Because a lot of times when they announce actors for a certain episode of a show, that's when set photos start to get out.
Like, I remember when Jordan Fisher was cast for Kid Flash. And
oh yeah, the other Kid Flash, right? Yeah, the one that was...
and then, like, literally a week after that, there were a ton of pictures of him on set.
Yeah, so I will not be surprised if these characters start showing up in set photos.
You want to tell them, though, what you heard?
Yeah, so basically, what I wanted to break down for you guys is, so I did a video 2 days ago about how it was potentially Keenan Lonsdale, who plays Kid Flash on The Flash, who had not been seen since season 6, was like, he just put on a blue lightning bolt on his Instagram, and people were like, oh my gosh, are you coming back for The Flash? And then we had no word of confirmation, no rumors, but people started going, oh, that sounds like that could only be for The Flash. And then yesterday we had a Flash poster with the gold boots, and they announced, John Diggle, aka Spartan from Arrow, and who has also appeared in 10 episodes of Flash, is going to be in episode 9 of The Flash, directed by Daniel Panabaker. And then also Bloodwork, who was the villain for season 6, I believe, which is, I guess, the first half of it, which was pretty great. And then also, so you got Bloodwork, Diggle, and Wally are confirmed for episode 9, directed by Daniel Panabaker, who plays Killer Frost, if you don't know. But then the cool thing was, today, probably for me as a fan of the character and the actor, we got the best news that I did not expect to get when waking up this morning, which was we got confirmed that not only is episode 9 going to be a big episode for those other characters I mentioned, but Stephen Amell is officially returning as Oliver Queen for the final season of Flash, and it's stated that he's going to be in that 9th episode. But I'm also hearing that he might be in more than one episode, because a lot of people always said that they wanted Oliver and Barry to have an epic send-off for the finale as well, especially for the series finale. So I won't be surprised if Oliver's in 2 episodes. Because Steven's been very vocal about spending a lot of time in Vancouver and getting to come back and help the Flash out, wrap things up. because him and Grant are really close. What'd you say?
What is that? What's Vancouver?
It's a place where they shoot The Flash and Arrow and all those other shows. It's in Canada.
What state is that in?
Canada. I don't know the specific city, but I know it's in Canada. So basically, this is pretty exciting news, guys. But the crazy thing about this is, like, with Wally and Diggle and Bloodwork, they're all alive. So we kind of know a little bit of what to expect from there, so they're not as excited. Like, Wally's going to show up, he's probably going to team up with Barry, be a cool speedster, do his thing. Diggle's going to be shooting people and kicking ass and taking names like he always does. Bloodwork's going to be evil and turn into his evil Bloodwork forms. He's got many of them. Oliver, there's a couple options for how he comes back. So, in the end of Arrow, he became something known as the Spectre, which means that he basically is kind of like, his body's gone, but he's got the spirit. They're using Oliver Queen as a vessel so that he has all these, like, godlike powers and can kind of, like, Doctor Strange shit and see visions in the future and has crazy amounts of power. So that's obviously the most current way of him being alive right now could happen. But in the reports, it says that he's back as Green Arrow, not Spectre. So I'm starting to get that whatever version of him we get is going to either be... It's either going to be something involving flashbacks, dream sequence, or because we are dealing with the Flash, it could be time travel. So I would say time travel... I would say time travel...
Of him that we don't know about yet. I mean,
yeah, that's what I think. I think it's probably going to be a variant of him that we haven't seen yet.
Exactly, yeah.
So I would expect it's going to be something like that. Because I just don't... the fact it says Green Arrow, again, like that... It will have to wait to see what the step photos like. Now that they've put his name out in the public, I'm expecting by the end of this week, I think we'll get set photos of Keenan Lonsdale back in his Kid Flash suit, Diggle back in his Spartan gear probably, or just his regular, like, John Diggle clothes, and then you'll have Bloodwork in either his CGI makeup for his final form, or you'll have him in his like, just, like, normal state form, because of the CGI that they used to create him. And then with Steven, it depends, because depending on which Oliver it is, that depends on which suit he's wearing, because it could be a whole new suit, or it could be one of his previous ones. If he's in...
Do you think it'll be a previous one, or do you think it'll be a new one?
It depends, because I can't see them making a whole suit just for one appearance in one episode, you know? Like, so, if they make a new suit for him, it's gotta be multi-purpose. Like, it's gotta be like, okay, is he here for one episode? Is he here for 2 episodes? Is he here for this? And then will this lead to something else?
Then again, like, why? They're going all out. They're going, you know...
If they're going all out, they could spend the budget on an entire new suit. It's true. So it's gonna be interesting. We'll have to wait and see, and it's also gonna be interesting because I haven't seen a picture of Stephen Amell, so it'll be interesting to see what facial hairs he's rocking right now. Because if he's rocking a full beard, then there's different ways that his look is. Or if he's rocking a goatee right now, then he's probably gonna go closer to the comic look. So it just kind of depends. You done with laundry now, Sugar? There she is. Welcome back. Excited to see you back. Yeah, but like they're rocking, like there's multiple different looks that they could be doing. Like he could be rocking his full comic book accurate look. He could be rocking a variation of his previous looks, but then there could be changes to it. Like it really depends. Like I'll be curious to see when the set photos come out. I think his looks I'm probably the most looking forward to set photo wise, because they're not going to do much to change the Kid Flash suit, I'd imagine. Like what more can they do? Are they going to paint it red? Make him the Flash just like he is in the comics? Or,
right, yeah.
like what are they going to do? Where with Oliver, there's a lot of different... And the only thing they can do with John Diggle that could really change things, that would make people lose their minds, is... Do you know about the John Stewart theory?
No, what is it?
So, in Arrow season... I think it was season 6, they brought in Ernie Hudson to play John Diggle's father. And his father's name, or I should say his stepdad, was named John Stewart. And so Diggle's name is John Diggle, but Diggle was meant to be more of a code name, right? And so his actual name is John Stewart. And so if you know who John Stewart is, you know that's another version of Green Lantern.
Is, right?
Yeah. So then what's interesting is in one of the earlier crossovers, the John Wesley Ships version of Flash, aka the Jay Garrick Flash, looks at Diggle so he goes up to the team, and it was when when they had the Freaky Friday situation where Barry was actually Oliver and then Oliver was Barry, right? Where they were in each other's different costumes.
Freaky Friday, what are you talking about?
Oh, did you not watch that crossover?
No.
So there was a crossover where reality was reset, and Barry ended up becoming Oliver Queen, and Oliver Queen became Barry Allen the Flash.
Wow.
Because reality was rewritten, so they had to be in each other's different costumes. It was really interesting. And so in that crossover, when Jay Garrick showed up hanging out with the heroes, you would expect him to have a conversation with the two of them because they were the main heroes of that timeline. But he walks up to John Diggle, of all people, and he says, "Oh, John, I didn't recognize you without your ring." And the internet flipped out, because the crazy thing was when they first looked at it, they're like, wait a minute, ring, oh, is he talking about how he's married to Lila, so like his wedding ring? And then everyone waited like, wait a minute, John Diggle, John Stewart, you can't be serious. So to this day, people have been like, are we ever going to see John Diggle become proper John Stewart and down the Green Lantern suit? Like, so people...
It's possible, and I think,
yeah,
especially for this being the last season, why not, right? Like,
dude, that would be a crazy thing to do, though. Could you imagine if you just showed to have Green Arrow and Green Lantern side by side fighting crime with the Flash? Like, that'd be absolutely crazy if they're both suited up for this final thing. Like,
that'd be kind of embarrassing, but that'd be pretty cool.
I think it'd be cool if they actually had that happen, like, just to see like that, because that's something that people have wanted. That's the whole thing about this final season is, for a lot of people love the show of the Flash and they love these characters. So to be able to get to like do the justice of the years and hard work that people have spent on this show would be so cool, just to see how they could service the fans in a way that also served the story in a positive light as well, and not just being for fan service, but also serving a really good and unique story that people really want to see happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these set photos. I'm intrigued because we already know that they're going to introduce Flash villain Red Death this season, and probably Cobalt Blue, so there's going to be a lot of different villains that they have this season. So it'll be interesting to see which villains are going to be in episode 9 that we face off against, who will Oliver face off against, how are they going to use these guys as a team, what's going to happen. I'm really looking forward to these set photos to see what happens. But it's going to be crazy, and the Flash final season actually isn't that far away. It actually comes out next month. So that's going to be pretty crazy. I can't wait to get another trailer for it and to discuss more, because the first trailer didn't give up too much away, so it'll be really interesting to see if we get a better trailer that specifically shows footage from episode 9, so that we get to see like what this is kind of going to look like. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, this was a really good jam-packed podcast, guys. We had so much news to talk to you guys about, and I'm sure next week will be no different. I'm sure we'll get even more exciting news. Of course, I'll have seen episode 3 of The Bad Batch next week, so we get to talk about that.
And the Ant-Man trailer will have already dropped.
Oh yeah, and the Ant-Man trailer we're gonna get to talk about. So be thinking about what you guys want to see in that trailer, so we can talk about that, because that's gonna be cool. So expect good things, but I think if we die here, I think we're gonna wrap it up, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Have a good day. You take care, Jake. Enjoy your day off.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Have fun tomorrow.
It should be fine. I'm sure there'll be people.
They should.